I'm not going to give a long introduction because I don't need to, because Karen Lewis could have been in 30 places tonight, and not just family things, because everybody wants to hear from Karen Lewis. Karen Lewis chose to be with us because she is an incredible woman, leader, and rank and file activist, I like to think. And Karen has, I think, a lot of wisdom because of what they just went through. We are honored in the Labor History Society to have her at our, to help bridge that past to the future. Thank you, Karen.
First of all, because I feel like I haven't done anything yet. No. What I think people do not understand is the reason why I say that is not false humility. It is because 2.5 years ago, I was in a classroom. 2.5 years ago, thank you. 2.5 years ago, I had no idea how all of our lives would change. But I did know something had to change, because the attack on public education and the attack on public services, but the attack on working men and women seemed to be relentless. And there seemed to be no answers. But the answers were in our history. The history of labor in the United States and the world spelled out a couple of things that I think are extraordinarily important. And the first is that no matter how much money and how much power, we have the numbers. We will never, ever be able to compete on a level playing field with the gazillionaires. We can't. But I don't care how much money the heirs of Sam Walton have, each one of them has one vote. And while I do not have that much faith in the political system, because at this very moment, I still believe there is one party in this country, that is the party of money. There are two branches. But I am always reminiscent of something that Lucy Parsons said. And I'm going to probably paraphrase it badly because I did not write it down. But Lucy said, do not think for a minute that the wealthy are ever going to allow you to legislate their riches away from them. Please understand that. However, we are in a moment where the wealth disparity in this country is very reminiscent of the robber baron ages. The labor leaders of that time, though, were ready to kill. They weren't. They were just ready, just like off with their heads. They were seriously talking about that. Well, I don't think we're at that point. And that's scary to most people. But the key is that they think nothing about killing us. They think nothing about putting our people in harm's way. They think nothing about lethal working conditions. One thing that was interesting to me is that during the strike, I cannot tell you how many people came up to me and said, "What do you mean the schools are not all air conditioned?" There is a disconnect. There is a disconnect in our country from how some of us live and how other people live. And as Bucky will sing to you at some point, if he didn't already and I missed it, which side are you going to be on? So are we going to be on the side of justice? Are we going to be on the side of a living wage for every person? Or are we going to be on the side of people whose entire mentality is based on a lie? Job creators. Really? Then why have we lost so many jobs? We can't tax the job creators because they'll take their toys and go someplace else. Brothers and sisters, they've already done that. So, as labor leaders, we all have a responsibility to remember that the key to the labor movement does not rest with its leaders. It rests with the rank and file of the people who actually do the work. The people who do the work know the work. But we are now living in an age where CEOs are interchangeable. One comes from one industry, comes to another, enriches himself or herself, and moves on. Destroying companies in their wake, and nobody says anything about it. We're at the point again in history where the media are owned by basically 6 or 7 companies. Yeah, we have 500 silly channels on TV, and we think we're watching something else, that we have a real choice. I am telling you that history repeats itself, not only for the good, but for the bad. So we have to make a decision about how we shape history for the future. Because if we don't change the way things are going now, 100 years from now, somebody will be standing here and talking about missed opportunities. Brothers and sisters, I can tell you now, we are sitting at the precipice of either all-out class war, and it's the rich against us. It's not, you know, we're really good about, I mean, it's not Europe. Because in our culture and in our DNA, everyone seems to think we too can be rich. How many people bought Powerball tickets? Oh, come on, you all know you did. You all know you did. You bought 6 of them. It is the desire for us and for having our children do better than we're doing. And right now, the American dream is an awfully scary nightmare. And the job creators continue to tell us that if you work hard, you do what you're supposed to do, you too can be a job creator. Well, the only problem with that is it's the biggest lie ever. The gap now in social mobility in the United States of America is less I mean, the ability to change and move forward now is less than it's ever been in our history. And a lot of people don't know that. I'm sure everybody in this room knows that. But the key is the movement forward has to begin with the people who do the work. So it is about what rank and file decide to come together and do. And the people we're honoring tonight, rank and filers, moving up, continuing to do the work. I stand before you not because I wanted this job, but because I had to do it. I'm serious. Because if it were up to me, the retirement clock is ticking. And I knew I was going to be done, but I have to tell you, the one person in this room who is responsible for me being here is my husband, John Lewis. Everybody good maiden name. 3 years ago, I sat in our dining room and I said to him, honey, if we do this, it's going to change our lives forever. I just thought I would be working different hours. I didn't know I would be Karen Lewis. Let's put it that way. So what I would ask is that we all take that step to move labor in a different direction, to move labor to answer the questions that we always have to think about no matter what we do. Those questions should be, does whatever we intend to do, will it unite us? Will it make us stronger? And will it build our power? And if you cannot say yes to that, then it is not the thing for us to do. So, I'm going to end 3 questions. Does it unite us?
Yes.
You have to say it with me. Let's go. Does it unite us?
Yes.
Does it make us stronger?
Yes.
And does it build our power?
Yes.
And if it doesn't, then don't do it. Thank you very much. Good night.